mid-September in Coconino National Forest near Flagstaff, Arizona, and it's getting a little cold, but it's still nice, decent weather. Today I'm going to make some coffee very easily. I guess a lot of people don't know how easy it is to make coffee. Before, when I was younger, I was unaware of this. I have my Walmart brand special premium coffee here, and I'm going to go and make some very easily and quickly. There's my tent. Now I'm going over to my old campsite, which is just over the hill here, because I built a fire pit and I have never built a new one. There's been fire restrictions all summer, so they've only just been lifted. So I haven't had a reason to build another fire pit. When I first arrived, I camped up on this hill, but I moved because the traffic from the road down there was loud. And I built this fire pit. This may be the best kind of fire pit to build because it's like an oven and water can be boiled much quicker in a hotter environment. Actually, I'm getting over a cold. I had a cold for the last week. First cold I've had in 2 years, I think. So now I'm gonna get a fire ready. Fortunately, there's a lot of fuel in this forest. Right now it's kind of wet because it's been raining a lot, but when in the dry season, this place is a tinderbox. I guess that's why they have so many fire restrictions. And Forest Service, they actually do prescribed burns in this forest to help remove some of the extra flammable material. So if there is a natural wildfire, it won't be too severe. Now while that's burning, I'm going to get my water ready. I already have some water from when I made some powdered milk. I like to clean out the pot by letting it soak. So there's some of that remainder water. And here's some more. Only gonna make about 1 cup of coffee, 2 cups. Now the fire's gone out, so I'll restart that and start boiling the water. It's Seems this fire should stay lit pretty well now that everything's dry in there. And I'm going to start boiling the water. I actually like to prop up the handle with this stone because it helps keep things nice and level. These are the best kind of fire pits to make, possibly. They help protect it from wind. They cause things to be hotter in there because it's like an oven. And it can help stop flaming particles from causing unwanted fires. Now I'm going to let this boil for a few minutes. Shouldn't take long, as long as the fire stays lit. Seems that it's actually boiling now. I don't know if it may have been boiling for longer. I just wasn't unaware of it. I guess few people know that coffee is like tea, except it's better than tea. It's the coffee grounds sink to the bottom. I may have never known that when I was younger. I tried all kinds of different ways to make coffee, and all that's needed is this: water and a pot and heat. Now I'll let it brew for a few minutes. Heat it back up over the fire. Don't have to, but I like to, just to make sure that, I don't know, it's hot, I guess. But the water doesn't even need to boil, really. It'll still make the coffee brew properly. I've warmed it back up a little. Now I'm gonna leave it in the sun like this. If I had a proper lid for this pot, I'd probably not heat it back up or anything, but because I don't, I'm just heating it back up, but it's not a problem. Water doesn't really have to be that hot either. Coffee is tea, basically. The coffee's brewed for about 5 minutes. Now it's ready to drink. And it's slightly white colored because I had that milk inside the water. But it's ready to drink, and it's strong. Actually, too much of the water evaporated. I think it was boiling for longer than I had known. So there's less coffee and water than I had expected to make, but that's okay. It's just very strong. That's all it takes to make great and strong coffee anywhere and easily in 5 to 10 minutes. No coffee filters, no coffee machine, just water, heat, and coffee. And the coffee grounds sink to the bottom. Coffee's like tea, but better than tea because the grounds sink to the bottom. They're heavier, so coffee filters are almost completely unnecessary. It is possible to drink a few coffee grounds, but that's not a huge problem because most of them sink to the ground. Maybe for people working in an office, it may be good to have a filter to avoid the possibility of coffee grounds getting stuck in the teeth. But if it's unimportant, then coffee filter is completely unnecessary. The grounds sink to the bottom. It's hard to see, but even when the coffee grounds are stirred up, they still sink to the bottom. They're heavy. I could stir this completely and take a drink of it and still not one coffee ground in my mouth. They sink to the bottom. It's a great way to make strong coffee, and I like strong coffee without any additional ingredients. Sometimes I like sugar or milk or flavorings, but generally I like it without any additional ingredients because I like the taste of coffee. And too much sugar can cause sluggishness, and it's generally unhealthy. Plain black coffee is like a nice pure drink, so I like to drink it. I think it makes me feel healthier than if I had a lot of additional ingredients. Now that I've drank some more of the coffee, it may be easier to see how the coffee grounds sink to the bottom. They're very heavy. Even when they're stirred up, they still sink right back down to the bottom. It would be nice to press these coffee grounds like in a French press. Definitely not necessary to buy a French press though. Imagine if you had two plastic cups, the kind that fit into each other. Then you could put the coffee in one cup and press it with the other cup and make some great pressed coffee. Here's the coffee I used. It's basic coffee, ground coffee, not instant. I bought this premium kind from Walmart because the standard coffee jar was out of stock. Plain ground coffee, not instant coffee.